dear friends, this is Luce Fleury Levi, founder of Universal Grace Film Feminine Foundation. I hope you are well. I would like to talk to you today about how to recover from what I call the dark Peter Pan syndrome. I have explained in my book, These Men Who Love Too Little, what is what I call the dark Peter Pan syndrome. If you are interested in knowing the detail, you can buy the book and you will see that I have explained what I mean, when I used this concept. I decided to do this video today to explain how one can heal and recover from the dark Peter Pan syndrome. In a nutshell, for those who didn't read the book yet, the dark Peter Pan syndrome is symptoms, very dark symptoms of males who have chosen their lower self and its addiction, because they love vice, they love their addiction more than they love their own higher self, their own higher good. We have to understand that it's first a problem, which is a conflict between themselves, between their many alter egos belonging to their lower self and their healthy ego belonging to their higher self. These men obviously load themselves because they are their higher self, because they are attached to vicious addiction which they love. Unfortunately, we very often these men become psychopaths because of their unhealthy choice, and very often, unfortunately, you have some of these men in power in the elite. I would not say that the whole elite or all the people in power are like that. All the males in power have chosen the dark Peter Pan profile and its syndrome, but some of them unfortunately have chosen that, and so it is affecting us all because they have a lot of power in our society. And don't forget that there are males who have not much power, but will choose that as well. And the little power they have on their families, their friends, and they still are a part of society, so it will affect all the people they will meet, and we've seen how pedophiles, for instance, are affecting young girls. They're affecting their wives by beating them up and being horrible to their kids, because they need to feed their addiction, okay? So they'll do anything to feed their addiction. They are not free. I think the most important thing, if you recognize yourself in this profile of the dark Peter Pan syndrome, is to stop hurting more victims, stop making more victims. You realize that you have an addiction, and this addiction concerns you. It's a choice you made. So stop hurting more people with this addiction. That's the first thing you need to do if you want to recover. The more you accumulate for yourself bad karma by carrying on hurting others, the more difficult it's going to be for you to overcome your addiction. So obviously, because it's an addiction and you are not free, you need help. So the best thing is to go and ask for help and find also your own tools. I believe in spiritual growth, in spiritual inner healing through reconnecting with your resurrected higher self through divine grace by reconnecting to divine mother. I personally believe in Christ, but you can find your own tools and your own spiritual direction, whatever your beliefs are. The third step is to take responsibility for what you have done and to accept the consequences for reparation, to repair what you have to repair in other people's lives. That will help you to clear your bad karma faster when you take responsibility and you help the victims as much as you can. For some of you who are part of the elite and in a privileged situation, it is not good to hide and to pretend you didn't do what you did. The best thing for you is not to take advantage of your high status to hide, but at the opposite, to accept publicly responsibility and accept the healing process. Your fourth step is certainly not to force your victims, your wife, your children, the young girls or whatever, young boys you've hurt, or their families, to forgive you, because forgiveness is a grace. It can't be forced. I advise you to listen to my teaching, how to transmute pain in joy when you are the aggressor, because I explained there a mechanism which has to occur for your own good, because when you are respecting others and giving them space to heal without demanding, and you can start then a new life for yourself in peace, progressively. Leave your past behind. Sometimes your wife, your partner, your children will find the strength to forgive you and to have you back, and other times they won't, and they have a right to, because you've hurt them very deeply. And sometimes, they might forgive you, but it's not healthy for them to have you back, and it would not be good for you either. So you have to learn to find a clean new way to help you. There is a point in life where we all have to let go, because sometimes we just can't do anything. We are so messed up, or we are going through a test. Sometimes we didn't create the problem, but life occurs with its challenges. And sometimes we don't have a human solution to a problem. We feel overwhelmed, so we have to let go. And it is the best advice I can give you. You need all your strength to recover. Now I would say that for us, as for the family, for who have suffered, your partner, it's important to they need us as friends, we need to be supportive of the families, of the victims of this situation. I know that many understand that the aggressor, the person who have made these unhealthy choices, needs support as well, because like me, they practice universal unconditional love. They chose the third way, which is a non-condemnation way, which is a neutral way, and that we can have compassion for all involved, the aggressors and their victims. And we need to help all of them to find their way and to recover. I already wrote about the third way, the middle way, whatever you want to call it, which is about pure grace, which is a gracious, universal, loving way in true divine, feminine divine mother. which is above the duality and out of the duality. Okay, so you can go back to my writing, and I speak about it in the book as well, in my book, These Men Who Love Too Little. So what I want to say, we should not forget the victims, because for very long, because of the patriarchal oppressive grip, on our society of such males, psychopaths precisely, we have not taken care of the victim. We force the victim to forgive. You've got to forgive. No, I mean, we add a trauma to the victim who is already in a lot of pain. The victim needs time to forgive at her own rhythm. What we need is to help the victim, to bring them all the tools she needs, she can have, to be able to recover, reconstruct herself. I speak in the feminine, but sometimes it's masculine, whatever. I just, whoever this victim is. And we also have to recognize the status of victim. I will have to make a video explaining that, because it will be too long here, so that the victim can know she's acknowledged, she's believed, that people believe her and not trying to say she's lying. Okay, and unfortunately, not only we've seen that children, whether or adult, male or female, who've been raped, were blamed and were not believed, and the aggressor always had the upper hand, in our society. But also the partner and the children were really the last of the last in the equation, and worse, the blame has always and very often been jilted on the wife and the kids, So I won't go into that, because I've been addressing these issues in my book, okay? And so I think that we need more love, more compassion, to help each other on this long, difficult road. I am sorry, I'll have to finish there. I mean, I'm going through a difficult patch myself at the moment, but I thought it was very urgent to do this video to help those who want to be helped, who want to change, who want to get delivered from addiction. Well, thank you for listening to me. I wish you all all the best. And I'm always here. You can put your comments and your questions. I'll be reading and replying. Much love to you all.